Hi, my name is Makai, and this is Crash Course World History. Make sure to strap on your eye patches and your best seafaring hat, because today's episode is about pirates. Yeah, you may want to take that hat off, as well as the eye patch, because pirates really weren't into that kind of clothing. In history, they were really just dressed like regular seaborne sailors. No crazy outfits, and especially not the kind of outfits we associate them with. So for this episode, we're bringing the truth straight to you, and hopefully not reference any forms of media that bring pirates into false light. Hopefully.
Makai, what about pirates that are actually sailors with eye patches like Blackbeard?
Just roll the intro.
To start off, pirates have existed for as long as maritime trade had been invented. After all, pirates are just basically crooks that run around on the sea, raiding trade ships and attacking coastal cities. We can trace the official beginning of pirates to around 300 or 400 BCE, as major trade was occurring inside civilizations through ships and other boats. One of the major trade routes that was occurring during this time was the Mediterranean sea trade, and here we can find some of the first sea-bound criminals taking action. Not much is known about these beginning pirates, aside from the fact that they were pillagers who sunk ships, plundered loot, and ran off with the goods. A couple of centuries after the beginning of pirates, the most prominent group of sea raiders, called the Vikings, terrorized Western Europe during the 700s to 1050. The Vikings tended to raid far inland, unlike previous pirates, and used the rivers to help accomplish this. Vikings dominated the eastern Atlantic Ocean during this dark period, and, of course, they were fierce invaders and warriors, pillaging port towns and killing as they went along. They practically defined the dark side of piracy, displaying the brutal truth of their actions, shadowed by romantic views that we have of pirates. Normally, we wouldn't really classify Vikings as true pirates, but their raiding tendencies can be seen again later in history through the emergence of modern pirates in the early modern period. This period of time can be called the Golden Age of Pirates, as this was the period when pirate activity was recorded the most, as well as it being the time period where the romanticism and stereotypes of pirates are taken from.
The golden era of pirates was during the 17th and 18th centuries, was marked by multiple pirates that traveled around the seven seas, because the world had been connected some centuries before. New sea trade routes proved to be tempting to criminals. These men were the epitome of romanticized pirates, from recruiting the right members to pillaging ships and even taking minimal amounts of damage to their ships, and of course stealing the amount of gold every pirate could want. Now it's time for the open letter. Now before we start this open letter, let me get something from the secret compartment. Coke, just what I need.
Dear Henry Avery, you were an amazing pirate in the early modern period. You amassed a gigantic fortune in just a few short years. Now, I have to ask, where exactly did all of your treasure go? I really need it to pay off all of my future student loans. All of it.
These pirates, of course fugitives, and as such they ran away from their governments to live lives on the sea. Of course those lives were not much better. It was these pirates that are modeled in our modern media, appearing in books, television, and movies. You could say these pirates were arguably the best representation of romanticized pirates. Now at the beginning of the video, we told you that the hats and the crossbones associated with these pirates were false. Well, that's not entirely true. All the stereotypes associated with the pirates are just exaggerated facts about these men and women.
So the question remains, how true are the modern stereotypes of pirates? Well, they're not really way too far off from the truth. The fact that they're just exaggerated factors of pirates' life is not very surprising. They're missing one important value in a pirate's career. They're murdering, volatile, and overall unsatisfactory people that should never be given the role of a hero. This has been Crash Course, and we hope to see you next week where we tackle the concepts of ninjas. See you soon.
Are ya ready, kids?
Aye, aye, Captain!
No, don't. No. No.
If you actually record,
Oh, the light. Oh. Pew, 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 pew. They became pirates raiding important trade 7 seas.
Okay. And then move the major. No. To start off, pirates have existed for as long as maritime trade had, well, existed as well. After all, pirates are just basically. What the f*** are you?